what I want to prepare you for is a fire hose in the face. So there's some of you that I feel very happy, very confident, and then some of your comments made me feel sad because some of you feel hopeless. And Rick, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I have no clients. I'm going to do my best to help you. But I want you to be prepared to hear things today that are going to, just based on the comments, I have some things to show you today that's going to knock what you think you know about networking and leads and referrals so upside down that some of you aren't going to get it, or you're going to think I'm crazy at first. And then I want you to watch the replay and maybe I'm not so crazy. So I'm going to begin the presentation now. I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm so excited. I'm shaking, and it's not out of nerves. It's shaking because I have so much to show you, tell you, teach you. Over half of this I've never taught in a public before. A lot of it I've never even done on 125 videos on my YouTube channel. So I have two outcomes for you today. Number one is to talk your ear off until you can't take it anymore, to try to get across what networking really is, what leads really are, and what referrals really are. If I can get through those three things today, then if you decide to work with me in the future, I'll tell you more about my course and the coaching and all that later. If you decide to work with me, and if you can see this, then I can blow your business up. So I'm going to share with you the best ideas I have, and they're always evolving, and I'll tell you more about my story and what I've been able to do with my wife to prove that this stuff works. And then I'll extend an invitation to you if you're interested to look at my 12 module course, and then I'm also going to offer one-on-one coaching. If you like cold calling and chasing leads, you like getting stood up, you like getting all fired up and amped up, you learn how to overcome those objections, you're going to get that mirror up and you're going to smile as you smile and dial, and you love spending time with every person you talk to trying to explain who you are and what you do, and it's you love it right at the end, right before someone's going to sign on the dotted line for you. Financial planners are mostly real estate agents. Right before they sign on the dotted line, hey, how much are you making? Can I get some of your commission? If you like all of those things, you like people asking for discounts, like getting set up, you love cold calling and door knocking, if you like all that stuff, leave now. My goal is to have you never deal with any of that stuff. I want a referral-based practice, and a referral-based practice is you're sitting at your desk and somebody emails you or calls you on the phone, and a trusted advisor told them to call you. I'm getting a little off track here, but I just want to tell you now, if you are reaching out for business, if you're looking for business, you're not a networker. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just what it is. I want to get you to the point where people are contacting you wanting to do business with you, not you doing outreach. And I'm going to lay that all out for you, I promise. So how would you like potential clients banging your door down like I have, my wife has? You better be raising your hand. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. The 4 parts of your referral network, which is the epiphany script, the avatar, the laws you must follow, the elevator pitch. Now, I'm only going to go over the elevator pitch briefly right now because I've got 13 videos on YouTube about elevator pitch. Then I've got another one that lays out step-by-step how to create it. I'm going to get you that link, because why take the time doing it here when I have it on video? Your job as a networker, we're going to go over the networking pipeline. We're going to talk about the difference between leads and referrals. That's the biggest thing I need to cleanse some of you of today. And I'll explain where do leads and referrals come from, how to sell with testimonials, selling versus marketing versus networking. And it's not like a competition where they're battling. They're completely different. They don't exist in the same conversation. I want to go over that with you. What is power partnering? And then I'm going to pull up a Word document. I'm going to show you guys how many questions I got. Let's now just strictly talk about the 4 parts of your referral networking system, your referral networking, 4 parts. Miss any of the parts, and this is what you got. Let's say it this way. If you have all 4 parts, this is what you got. If you don't even have an epiphany story, and I'll explain in great detail what all of this is, that's what we're here for. If you don't have a great epiphany story or an exact idea of who you're looking for, and you don't understand the laws you need to follow, and you don't have a good elevator pitch, if you have those 4 things, I should say, and they're good, you got a really strong foundation. Now, if you don't, if you're missing one, if you're missing 2 or 3 or all of them, or if they're not good, then you have a foundation that's not solid. So a lot of you sent me things like, Rick, I talk to people and they don't send me referrals. Rick, I ask for referrals, I don't get them. Rick, I don't have enough. Rick, I don't have enough business. I guarantee it's because of this screen. 100%. Been doing this for 19 years and 3 weeks. I've been teaching this thousands and thousands and thousands of people. It's one of these four things or all a combination of all that you're missing or it's not strong enough. I can help you do all of this to turn your foundation of your network into this. Okay, so a little bit about me, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you epiphany. You need to have this. I'm going to show you mine. You're going to get to know me now, and you're going to see what an epiphany story is, and then I'm going to show you Avatar. Hey everybody, my name is Rick Silva, and I'm a former engineer with Eastman Kodak, and I was a recruiter with Cisco Systems. I got laid off in 1998 from Eastman Kodak. I became a recruiter. I rode a wave of fame and fortune in the dot-com world between 1998 and 2001. Got laid off, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So getting laid off, the second time I was like, I'm never going to have a job again. I ended up having one more job, but I was really upset with, I'd put my heart and soul into a business and I would get let go. So I wanted to have some control in my life. Now, when I say I work for Kodak Servicing Copiers, that's the copier and that's me. In Rochester, New York, 27 or 28 years old, in front of a $300,000 copier. I serviced copiers for about 8.5 years. Now, I was driving 3,000 miles a month for 8.5 years. If you know the Bay Area, from Castro Valley, California, down to Cupertino, Santa Clara, Sunnyvale, around 3,000 miles a month. I've listened to 5,000 to 7,000 hours of everyone you can think of. Bob Proctor, who just recently passed away, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Tom Hopkins, I forgot his name, I can't believe, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Robert Allen, and I can't remember his name anyway. I've listened to them for thousands and thousands of hours and read certainly over 500 books on the topic of selling, networking. Jack Canfield's the other one. Who's the other one besides Jack Canfield? Leadership, speaking, selling, networking, lead and referral generation. It's Mark Victor Hansen. We got it, Mark Victor Hansen. Thank you. So I've probably got 3 or 4 college degrees. From my joke is I went to Automobile University. That's where I got my education. I went to Heald College to become an engineer, but my real education was after I got out of college, those 8 or 9 or 10 years of study. From 2000, after I got laid off from Cisco, I didn't work for a while, and then I went into the jewelry store to get my wedding ring cleaned for my previous marriage. I knew more about watches than the store manager. He offered me a job. I ended up selling jewelry for about 2 years, became the number 4 salesperson in the state of California for K Jewelers. And then I was selling jewelry to this lady, a lot of jewelry. And I go, what do you do? I do Yellow Pages. I remember going like this. As soon as I cocked my head sideways, she goes, Rick, I could get you a job there tomorrow. So I interviewed there because I made 42 grand my big year at selling jewelry. There's not a lot of money in working in a mall. So I went to the Yellow Pages and I made it 5 months and 3 weeks. And I had a problem because I didn't know at the time. They handed me a stack of leads and I got excited. Oh my God, a stack of leads. Oh. And then I would start calling them, and I'm going to do my best to not swear, but stop effing calling me. F Yellow Pages, F you, stop, leave me the F alone. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I talked to somebody else and he said, oh, they gave you the leads that everybody in the office already called. So by the time I got them, it was like 9 other people had already called these leads. So having made thousands and thousands and thousands of cold calls as a recruiter and saying I'd never do it again, then I do Yellow Pages. Now I'm back at the, I'm at jewelry. So people are coming to me, which I like. Then I go to Yellow Pages. I'm chasing people again. Chasing people sucks. So, and people swearing at me sucks. Well, I did that, like I said, for about 6 months. And I met a lady named Sharon. She was trying to get me to join one of her networking groups. She was running a bunch of referral groups. And she tried to get me to join. And I said, you know what you do sounds cool. And it just so happened she was looking for somebody to take over her business. So I worked with her from August of 2003. And then she got out of the business. And I started B2B Gathering April 1st, 2004. So August 2003, so that's 19 years and a month that I've been doing this professionally, teaching, networking, running referral groups. So I started a company called B2B Gathering, which is a monthly networking group, not unlike if you guys have heard of BNI. Mine are monthly, and it's a completely different format. That's what one of my groups looks like. It went virtual that 3rd week of March of 2020 when COVID hit. All the chambers of commerce threw me out. So I had to go virtual, and I'll stay virtual forever. But that's what one of my groups looks like. Then in 2008, you guys remember the real estate crash. My house went down $200,000 under market the same month, February 12th, 2008, we decided to get divorced. My house went down to 200,000 under market. So I did what's called a deed of trust transfer, and I handed my house to my ex-wife, where she's there to this day with my kids. And I moved out and got an apartment. And then I started losing all my coaching clients. My income went from 14,000 a month down to 6, but I had to pay child support, 2,000 a month to pay rent. So as my money's about to run out, my friend Chris, I was talking to him on the phone. He said, why don't you move in with me? So I moved in with him, got out of the lease of the apartment. I moved in with him. And then he was a recruiter that I knew when I was at Cisco. He got, about a year after I moved with him, he got hired by Apple Computer, got a huge sign-on bonus, and he bought a house for cash and moved away. So now I'm broke. I mean, broke sauce. That's not a car like it. That is the Cadillac that got repossessed. So we're talking about, at this point, about 2000. I'm 32 years old, and I'm getting my car repossessed. And then I have an office. That's a Pleasanton Hotel in Pleasanton. And if any of you know Pleasanton, California, that's a Pleasanton Hotel top floor. It had some closets because it's a 150-year-old mansion that had some closets. There's a futon that's 2 doors down in my house right now. Futon. I slept on that futon every night for 6 months, showered at the gym, living in my office, basically homeless at 32 years old. At that time, thinking I'm the world's leading authority on business networking, and lost everything. I had a chance to share the stage with Les Brown when I didn't have a dollar to my name. And that story alone is a video to how I manifested getting on stage with Les Brown, 615 people. In 2010, my now wife, Marcella, joins one of my networking groups. So Marcella was working as a full-time software engineer at Lawrence Livermore Lab in the nuclear department, very high secure clearance. She had what's called a Q clearance. She could get into the Pentagon. But on the side, she had an old 401k, and she had purchased some land with it and got a real estate license and started helping people part-time invest in land. Well, we started dating, and I'm moving in with her. We were sitting in the living room, and this screen came up. The owner of the company was explaining what she does, which is called land banking. And this is the very short version. You'll see this is a backdated Google image of 2002. And you see these yellow lines here where they put the lines showing you the roads ended up. But in this picture, there's no roads. This is called land banking, which is buying affordable pre-developed land in the path of growth. So in this picture, 50 to 150,000 an acre, and then 10 years later, 2 to 7 million per acre. When I saw these two slides, I freaked out because I had seen the Bay Area all around grow, and I didn't realize that normal people could have some of that land. So I saw this slide, and those two slides made me a multimillionaire, and there's just no other way around it. So I decided to cut back my coaching, cut back the groups. That's why you haven't seen much of me the last 5 or 6 years, because I turned everything off to run this as fast as I could, to make a ton of money, to be basically kind of financially free, where I can now do what I really enjoy, which is teaching networking, which still make a lot of money doing land, but this is my love. So what I'm doing with you is my passion. So that's land banking. This is Overwater Bungalows in Moorea, which is the island between Tahiti and Bora Bora. We're going there for our 4th time next year. That was our 3rd trip. That's Santorini, and you'll see that boat. We just got back from Barcelona and the south of France about a month ago. I've been all over Europe, Prague, Athens, all over the place. And I want to tell you that all those trips were free, paid for by the owner of the company, because we've done so well. In the last 11 years, we've done well. And I want you to think about how many deals the average real estate agent does, which is 6 to 10 a year. We've done over 800, well over, I think it's over 850 real estate transactions in the last 11 years. I have never, ever, ever cold called or door knocked or bought leads. And this last one is going to be very important for a lot of you based on the questions you sent me. I've never one time in my life ever asked anybody for a referral, but everything I do is referrals, and I'll explain. That's where it's going to, I told you earlier, it might flip your world over a little bit. I'm about to do that. I've had over 6,000 one-on-one coffee meetings, facilitated over 1,200 networking groups, spent the last 19 years doing this. So to finalize my epiphany story, I'm a former engineer with Eastman Kodak and a recruiter with Cisco Systems. Been teaching networking for 19 years. I'm a referral coach. I'm a rainmaker for my wife's business. I've brought in most of those 800 deals. I was bankrupt and homeless in 2008, and now I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm going to show you everything I can in this amount of time to give you ideas of how to do it. So that was my epiphany story. When I meet people for coffee, I want you to hear this. When I meet people for coffee, what I just showed you is what I show them. Every single person I meet, that's my epiphany story. Every single one of you has a story of why you got in the business you're in. You have somebody here that does reverse mortgages. That person might have gotten reverse mortgages because they saw a family member that couldn't make it, but they could have taken equity out of their home. I'm just looking at what you all do. You merchant services, financial planning, reverse mortgages, network marketing, financial planning. I can't speak for you all because I don't know, but I've met numbers of people who have gotten into network marketing for reasons like extra income, for reasons like retired, bored, want to do something, for reasons like I'm unhireable because I'm too old or I don't have the proper skill set. That's a story you have to tell. If you had a corporate job and got laid off and you couldn't get hired, so you got into network marketing, you got to put that story together, okay? I can teach you how to do it. I have software that you answer a bunch of questions and it kicks it out, and then you take that story and you connect it to photos. I can help you with that. That's part of the coaching I'm going to offer you guys if you want to move forward with me later. But you need an epiphany story. I showed you mine. Now I want to tell you the Jason story. I watched a guy go from making $200,000 his first 2 years to $960,000. I'm a recruiter. I'm helping executives find jobs. We're cold calling, and I'm talking about cold calling. 25 to 50 calls a day. I hear people say I make 400 calls a day. I doubt it. I was doing 50 to 100, 50 to 75, 25 to 50 a day, looking for executives who had open positions that we could fill in the .com world. The owner of my company, I was 30 or 31 at the time. He was 26. I saw him go from 200 to 960,000. Here's how. He's walking in the front door of his condo. As he opens the door, he hears a crash. He leans back, looks down the hall, and the guy that lives next door had 2 grocery bags, and one of them broke open, and there's soup cans rolling all over. And I remember him saying he grabbed one of them before it rolled down and hit the ground. He helps the guy pick up his groceries. He goes into the guy's kitchen, sets it on the counter. He goes to walk out, and the guy goes, "Hey, thanks a lot. We've never really met before. What do you do?" And he asks my boss, Jason. He goes, "Well, I'm a high-tech recruiter. I find jobs for software engineers, writers, technical writers, product marketing, product management, those types. What about you?" And the guy's just like shaking his head. He goes, "I'm the hiring manager for Nokia's IPRG group, which stands for Nokia's Internet Protocol Routing Group." So if you remember back then, we're talking about 23 years ago, everybody had the Nokia flip phone. Well, the company that developed the routing systems and the communications were 2 buildings by Moffett Field in Mountain View. So they met the next day, and he handed Jason 25 open positions. And he said, "See what you can do." Well, the average commission was about 20 grand, so he handed us $500,000. So I want you to think about this story, and I want you to understand that I don't want you cold calling or chasing people asking for business. We were cold calling for years. And when you cold call, you might get a piece of business or you might not. Jason meets one man that ends up giving us, 70 or 80 open positions over the course of the next year and a half. At 20,000 is 1.4 million. One man, 70 jobs. One. When you think about that. One effort for 70 or 1,000 cold calls to make 70 sales, if you're lucky. I just had breakfast with Estella this morning. So this is Estella and her husband, Raul. This is my wife. That's Estella. That's my wife's mother in Tahiti. We took her because she's our top referral partner. So in the last, we just came back from Barcelona. We paid for her to go to Barcelona in south of France also. In the last, I'm going to say 5 years, conservatively, we have closed 80 real estate deals because of one person. This is called power partnering. The Jason story, he met a hiring manager who had all these open recs. We never needed to cold call again. And then Estella, she's given us 80 deals. So I'm going to tell you something right now that 3 years ago, 2019, I think we made around 600,000. COVID year hit, we made 768,000. Last year we made 865,000. This year we're certainly over 600,000. Every one of those years, like in the beginning, the first 6 or 7 years, we were making 100, 200, working 80 hours a week to make 1 or 2 or 300,000. Last year, 865 or 868, working about 15 hours a week. Because of people like Estella, we have another lady named Heather who's a money coach. We've done about 70 deals since the day COVID hit, closed real estate transactions from one person. So just those two, Heather and the lady on the screen, we've done 150 real estate transactions in the last 5 years. That's why we don't have to work much. That's because we have a network built. I'm going to explain it to you best I can as we go through. You saw my epiphany. And the next question is, do you have an avatar? When I say avatar, baby, I'm talking about precise, exact. You got to know how your client eats, sleeps, breathes, and drinks. And if you have 10 different types of clients, guess what? You're going to have 10 different avatars, baby. Now, I have software that kicks this out, but I'm going to read you my avatar here so you know what an avatar is. This is just one of the types of clients that I'm looking for, that I can help with my networking coaching. You need to have this. Here's my avatar. I have to move something out of the screen here. Actually, let's see. Yeah. Joyce is a real estate agent who dreams of becoming a high-producing agent. Currently, Joyce's focus is on how to get more referrals, make more money. Ultimately, Joyce really wants to sell more homes and have financial security. Right this minute, Joyce would be ecstatic if she could find more buyers, find more sellers, stop cold calling, stop begging people for business, stop knocking on doors. Unfortunately, Joyce still needs to figure out how to get more referrals, stand out from other agents in her area, get more business without spending tons of time on marketing and chasing and getting stood up and blah. I'm moving stuff around so I can actually see the writing. Joyce is also really frustrated by the fact that her network does not send her referrals. Other agents earn more than she does. Sellers want discounts and buyers really have no clue what they want in the house. Plus, she still feels she needs to get the answers to these questions before she can move forward. How can I get more referrals? How can I find more buyers and sellers? How can I double or triple my income and work less? Because damn it, I don't have a personal life. I want to spend time with my family. I want to go on vacation. Joyce is also still hung up on the idea that cold calling works. Marketing for leads is the best way to sell more homes, or just punch in what you do. And there are so many coaches out there, she doesn't know who to turn to for help. In fact, she feels like cold leads don't work well, but she needs more business to earn money so she can reach her goals. When all is said and done, Joyce wants to become one of the most successful realtors in her office, spend more time with her family on hobbies while earning more and feel in control of her life, and stop chasing caca leads around. To help Joyce, I would invite her to check out my webinar-based training, One Referral Away, at onereferralaway.com. I can teach her how to create an ongoing referral machine without working 60 hours a week. I promise to show her how to build a referral-based practice. If you're in the real estate business, I guarantee you thought those things, because I spent a lot of time creating that. When I have one for business owners, real estate, mortgage, you need to have. Now, if you work with first-time home buyers, cool. Some of you are in wellness. You're working with people that get headaches. You need one for that. Backaches, you need one for that. Sciatica, you need one for that. Skin problems, you need one for that. Weight loss, you need one for that. You need an avatar for each one, and it has got to be specific. This is why. Because do you want to be a wandering generality or a meaningful specific? That's from Zig Ziglar. You want to be a wandering generality. You want to be a meaningful specific. You got to be a meaningful specific. When you're vague, no one knows how to send you referrals. They don't have a freaking clue what you do. I'm talking fast because I got a lot to cover with you guys. Now, next you have to learn the laws and you have to follow them. I just want you to think for a second. If you break the law, you get in trouble, okay? There's one law that I'm going to allow you to break as long as you're working with me. You ready? When you're up in an airplane, you better break the law of gravity. That's the only law you get to break, the law of gravity. Other than that, don't break the law. So let's talk about some of the laws. There are a few others, but these are the 6 most important. The law of reciprocity, the law of attraction, the law of mutual exchange, the law of increasing returns, the law of abundance, and Parkinson's law. I don't have time to go over these, but I'm sure you've heard of some of these laws before. I'm going to go over one briefly with some slides. If you've seen The Secret, you've heard of law of attraction. This just laws you have got to follow. I will tell you, the law of reciprocity was broken by a number of you with the questions you sent me, so let me explain. Don't get offended or scared or insulted. When you say, Rick, I tell people what I do and I don't get referrals. Rick, I've sent people referrals and I'm not getting referrals back. So the law of reciprocity says give with zero thought of return. You're giving because you want to give, not because you want to get business. So if you're giving with the hopes of getting in return, or if you're telling people what you do expecting referrals, that's kind of arrogant. Why? Why should they send you referrals? So if you think meeting people and telling them what you do get you referrals, you're breaking, see my hand, you're breaking the law of reciprocity. When you break the law, I cannot help you. You will not build a referral-based practice. You will consistently look for business. So you got to follow these laws. Go into more detail on that in the course I'll tell you about. So have faith the referrals will come. So right now we're going to talk a little bit. It's actually called the law of sowing and reaping, which isn't even here. The law of abundance is there. The law of attraction's there. What I'm going to show you. So just like a farmer plants seeds. Now, so when you guys are networking, and I'm going to ask you to go on 1,000 coffee meetings. Are you crazy? I'm going to ask you to go to networking events. I never get anything on the networking events. Well, if you look at this field, the farmer's planting the seeds. Does he have faith someday when he turns around, there's going to be a crop there? Yes. Does he go, I plant these seeds and nothing will ever grow? Because if that's how he thinks, he's probably not going to put the proper fertilizer. He probably won't even plant it at the right time of the season. He's definitely not going to water it. Nothing's going to grow. He has full faith that these crops are going to do that, then they're going to do that, and then they're going to do that. And if you look really close, every one of these, I don't even know what you call corn stalks, kicks off multiple pieces of corn. Every one of those is a referral. So every one of these is a coffee meeting that you're going to have with somebody, and I'll get into more detail about that as we go. You're going to teach them over time how to send you referrals. You are not going to ask for referrals. I'll explain. But when you teach people how to send you referrals, then you turn that to the Jason story where he got, I don't even remember exactly, 60, 70, 80 deals from that one guy. And then the two ladies I work with, one is got to be over 80, and the other one's close to 70, 150 deals-ish between two people. That's because we water, we fertilize, we take care of our referral partners. We don't try to sell to everyone we meet because no one wants to be around you when you do that. So you have to have the proper elevator pitch. Now, guys, if you guys really put it on me, I'll do a whole separate webinar on elevator pitch. I was going to offer that inside of the bonuses and the course I'm going to tell you guys about, that I'll do a whole 90-minute training just on elevator pitch. It's so critically important that if I even cover it at all today, it will not do it justice, and we'll be here till midnight. Elevator pitch is the culmination of epiphany of the avatar and the laws, and then you write your elevator pitch, and then that's what you use when you go to networking groups and networking events. And when you meet people, you can't even create the elevator pitch if you don't have an epiphany, an avatar, and follow the laws. It's critically important. It kills me to only say that much about it because I've taught this to 30,000 people, but I got so much to tell you and so much to teach you. I don't want to go 30 miles deep on one topic. So professional networkers do not look for clients. They do not ask for referrals. Networkers look for the people who already have them. So I want you to start thinking about these things. What percentage of your business comes from leads? What percentage of your business comes from either past clients or referral partners, if you even have referral partners? And some of you, the comments you ask me, I know you don't have referral partners because you're just going after your sphere. I'll get into that more. What would your business look like if all of your sales came from referral partners? You weren't cold calling, you were not lead generating, and you're not chasing people around, and you're certainly not asking for business ever. I know some of this stuff is maybe counter of what you've heard from other people, but I'll do my best to explain. One of you mentioned pipeline, only one of you, and I'm going to go over my version of the pipeline. So this is called a sales pipeline, but I am not here to teach you sales. I'm here to teach you how to network, so I call it the networking pipeline. There is only 4 ways, there are no others. There's only 4 ways to build your business and to get business in. You see on the left-hand side, cold calling and advertising is red because it generates leads. It costs money, it costs time, it costs a lot of heartache. Mostly it costs a lot of time because you get people who don't trust you. You're going through the process, and then right at the last minute, they walk away, or they stand you up, or they show up late because they don't really know who you are because you cold called them or you got them off a lead. These people are very hard to convert, and I don't want to work that hard to put that much energy in. Michael Tesoro, thank you for being on. I don't think we've ever met in face-to-face, but I know you're a real estate agent, I believe, in the Fremont area. When you generate a lead and you spend 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours with somebody, right at the last minute, they go, yeah, I found out my brother-in-law or my neighbor's a real estate agent, I'm going to go with them. Or right at the last minute, I hear you guys make a lot of money. Could I get some of it? And they're holding the pen to sign. Right when they're about to sign, they start asking for discounts. They're showing up late. That stuff happens on the left. That stuff very rarely happens on the right. So word of mouth is when you tell everyone you know about what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying sell to everyone you know. I'm not saying sell to everyone. I'm saying you're telling everybody what you do using your elevator pitch. Networking is when you go out and you talk to complete strangers and you figure out how you can send each other referrals. So you do those 4 things in any combination. Like I've got a YouTube channel that's brought in. That's on a side note, everybody. If you need help putting up a YouTube channel, my channel's got 735 subscribers. My average video gets 50 to 100 views, and I've made 22,000 since Christmas from my channel because the YouTube channel itself is not for making money. It's for building credibility so people see it and know you're a real deal. So that's a side note. If you need help with the YouTube channel, it's something else I can help you with. But you're doing these 4 things. You're bringing in the business. It goes through a pre-screening process because I want you to do everything you can to figure out why you should not work with them. You want to look for all the red flags, and if you can't fix them, don't work with them because you're wasting your time. Now you close some sales. Your job is to convert as many of the people who just purchased with you into your non-commissioned, non-salaried sales force. That's your job, is to teach them how to sell for you through your epiphany, through your avatar, and through your elevator pitch. That's your job, to teach everyone you meet how to find you business, not ask them if they want to purchase or ask them directly. You're going to teach people. So you got to know what you're asking for. So this, if this was my main goal, if I can get this buried. So I want you guys, whatever you think you know about leads and referrals, could you do me the biggest favor if you don't mind? Just take a deep breath. And then whatever ego you have or whatever knowledge you think you have about leads and referrals, I'm going to dump it on its head. So I don't want to sound like I'm very confident. Like I don't think there's 3 people walking the planet Earth that know more about networking than me. And I'm just going to say it. For 19 years, day and night, night and day, all I've done is eat, sleep, drink, networking, and leads and referrals and elevator pitch. I'm going to say some things to you that you might have heard differently from someone else. 19 years, this one topic made personally multi-millions of dollars because of this understanding. Leads and referrals do not exist in the same conversation. A lead is from marketing. You're putting up any type of print, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything you're doing where you're writing marketing. If you're going to a networking event and you're asking people, hey, I do real estate. Know anybody looking to buy or sell a home? That's a lead. There's nothing wrong with leads. I don't work with leads. I don't like leads. They take too much time. They don't trust me. They're too hard to close. I don't want to work that hard. So I may have the slide later. I'm going to just tell you now. The 80-20 rule. 80% of your money is made by the top 20% of your clients. 80% of your time is wasted by the bottom 20% of your clients. Constantly be firing people. If you got somebody who's a pain in the ass, fire them so somebody better comes into your life. You have got to respect your time and respect yourself, because if you don't, no one will. Working with leads in my business, when it's a 2 to 6 hour time I have to spend with them and they're not going to be loyal, is too much time wasted, especially when you've done as many transactions as we have. So a lead is not qualified. They don't know who you are. There's not a lot of trust. It came from some form of marketing. So I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. If you're talking to someone, you're asking for leads. You cannot ask for referrals. It does not, it's impossible. It does not happen. And I'm going to show you guys in the second half of this presentation some of your questions, asking for referrals. You cannot ask for referrals. If you don't believe me, leave now, because I cannot help you. I will never be able to help you build a referral-based practice if you think you can ask for referrals. You can ask for leads all day long. Hey, now that we're finished with the transactions, do you happen to know the name of 2 or 3 other friends and family members that I could call to offer the same great service? That's from the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, and 70s. That is so outdated. Hey, now that we've done this real estate transaction, slide the piece of paper, if I hand out a pen, would you happen to know the name of 2 or 3 of your friends and family members who might be interested in refinancing, you might be interested in, do they need a new CPA, whatever it is. When you have them write the name and number on a piece of paper, guys and gals and boys and girls, that's a freaking lead. That is not a referral. That's a lead. So all of those things, asking for leads, asking for referrals, I can't get referrals, I don't know referral, you're asking for leads. It's only because, and this is not good, it's not bad, it's only because you guys don't know the difference between lead and referral. I'm going to help you today. My goal in life, if you get nothing else out of this presentation, I want you to understand a lead is cold. A lead came from marketing. A lead, they don't know who you are. They don't trust you. A referral is the polar opposite. A referral came from a trusted advisor. A mortgage lender talked to her client and saw an old 401k with 70 grand in it and said, do you trust me? Of course. I want you to call Marcella Silva and take that old 401k and buy land. And that person goes, if you say I should look into land, I'll look into land. Then that mortgage lender fills out a complete profile on that client, sends it to my wife. My wife knows everything about that person's situation. And it came from a trusted advisor, and a form is filled out. That's a referral. If you don't have that, you're working with leads. That's why you're not making as much money. That's why you're running 900 hours a week. That's why you can't close as much. That's why you don't have enough clients, because you want referrals, but you're looking for leads. Hopefully this is helping some of you. So you got to have this should be a 9,000 font right here. A trusted advisor. So let me look at some of you. Merchant services. Perfect. A banker told the client, you got to call Barbara Cunningham to set up your merchant account because you got to take credit cards for your business. Now, Barbara's on the screen, whether you can see her or not. Barbara does merchant services and credit card processing. By the way, while I was servicing copiers, I did that part-time. Very familiar with that business. If a banker says, call Barbara Cunningham, you have to set up a merchant services account so you can take credit cards for your business. That person is going to call Barbara. Barbara, my name is Rick Silva. I was just at my bank. My banker told me to call you to set up my merchant account. That's a referral. Come on, baby. Barbara, type in the screen if you want. Barbara, if a banker told the client that they need merchant services to call Barbara, Barbara, do you need to know anything at all about how to sell? Anything? Do you need to know anything? I'm buttoning my shirt because I got goosebumps 9,000 miles high on my arm, if you guys can see that, because this happens to me all the time. This is the life I lead, and this is the life I want you to lead. I don't even know what a metal garage door package is, Gary, but he sells Eagle, carports. That's going to tell me general contractor, builders, developers, architects are going to want to bring in big, bad Gary Wayne Kallstrom when one of their clients needs a big old metal garage. And when an architect says, I got the guy for you that's going to help you put in your carport, call Gary. And Gary, if you were smart, you'd call the developer first and find out everything you can about that client before you call. So if you guys aren't seeing yet that there's been leading a referral, you just call me on the phone and I'll help you. They've been you have a profile filled out on the person. It's coming from a trusted advisor. It gives you time when you have this filled. It gives you time to go on Facebook and LinkedIn. This is a strategy I've told very, very few people in my life. I go on Facebook and LinkedIn and I look for pictures. I want to see what they're interested in. I want to see what college they went to. So when I have a conversation with them, if I notice they like bowling or hunting or shooting or travel or fishing, then I can figure out what I know that I can resonate with them to lower the barrier, raise the confidence, lower the hesitation, all that kind of stuff. My CPA told me to call you so you could help me sell my home. Michael Tesaro, a CPA calls you on the phone, or my CPA is talking to his client. You get a bonus check. What do you want? Oh my God, I want to buy a rental property. When a CPA is sitting with a client, that client says, I got a bonus check coming, I don't know what to do. And the CPA opens up the drawer and says, you want to buy a home? Call this person on the phone. Now that's a referral. The CPA told them to call you. I think that's it for that. That was it for that slide. You need to be talking to trusted advisors. Leads tend to leave a little quicker. They ask for discounts. They're sometimes they stand you up, don't show up. So leads are not qualified. They don't trust you. They want discounts. They're harder to close, blah, blah, blah. Cost of money to lead generate. And then people go, well, with referrals, you don't have as much activity. You're damn right. Because if you generate leads and you got 100 people to talk to, you're going to lose 2/3 of them because you didn't follow up fast enough anyway. So I'm just not a big fan of leads. If you want to work with them, cool. I don't. Referrals leave slower. They do take longer to get going. So under leads, you're going to make the sale quicker. Referrals, it takes a little while to get your referral network going, and we're gonna get into that. People are referred to you. Price becomes an afterthought. When you place an ad, you're commoditized. So people look at you that when you place an ad, the first question out of the mouth is how much, how much, how much. If my CPA told me to call Michael Tesaro to buy a home, Michael, are you still here? Yes, you are. If my CPA told me to call Michael Tesaro, Michael, this is what I need, this is how much money I got, blah, 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 blah. If Michael's smart, the next thing he does is he says, we got to get you pre-qualified with a mortgage lender. But other than that, that person's generally not asking a lot of qualifying questions that are silly because it came from the CPA. I'm going to look real quick here. Bob Ritchie, how long should it take to create a referral funnel? Bob, type in there again if you already did. Okay. You provide health and wellness through, I don't know that company, Active Pure and Valara. Bob, ask me that at the end. I'm gonna bang out questions the best I can until I fall off the chair. The main reasons you want to work with referrals is the length of time the appointments take. The show-up rate is much higher. Talk about not getting stood up. I've had over 6,000 coffee meetings. It's very rare I get stood up. Referrals are just so much easier to close. And this easier to close thing, and when business is coming to you, if I don't have another slide that says it, let me just tell you now that the average entrepreneur spends 20 to 35 hours a week looking for business, 20 to 35 hours a week looking for business. If you can start having some coffee meetings and teaching people how to send you business, in a year or 2 or 3, now instead of working 60 hours a week, you're working 10 or 15 hours a week, and business is coming to you and you're looking for business. It doesn't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. It took me 8 years to where I had it. But with what I'm about to offer you right now, it's going to shorten that significantly. And it ain't going to take you that long because I already figured it out. I'm just going to hand it to you. It's much easier to build a business when people are chasing you than you're chasing them. This is Dr. Stevenson. Now, talk about a high IQ. Top of her class, Stanford, and I think also very high to the top of her class, UCLA. She's a dentist. And this is a testimonial I got from her. Rick is amazing. He's very professional. His direct button-down approach is concise, efficient, and effective. I was able to learn new speaking skills in a very short time that has translated to growth 3 times my goal and twice the profitability that I projected in my business plan just 4 months from now. Wow, when I got that, wow, I was honored because I compared to her, I mean, I'm a moron. I just gifted with this networking skill. But she didn't learn it in Stanford and she didn't learn it in UCLA. She had to come and learn it from me. Pretty cool. So right in the middle of the presentation, I want to show you the course and what I'm offering you guys just in case you need to leave. Some of you might be interested in my course, one-on-one coaching, and I want to explain it to you now. So if you could go to onereferralaway.com right now and look at it if you want. If you go there, you'll see 6 boxes. I only want you to look at this one, the Essentials course. So this is the whole foundation of building your entire referral network. This is the button you would click. When you click that button, you'll see an explanation, a write-up about the course. And I did this page 2 years ago, so I got to change that to 19 and over 800 parcels. These are the lessons that are in the course. It's 12 modules. I don't know, it's 6, 7, 8 hours. Going deep on your pipeline, selling and marketing, when to do it, when not to do it. Elevator pitch, an hour on elevator pitch. Networking groups and the power of 3. What to do at networking events, how to stay top of mind with people. It's a lot. Testimonial selling. I just did testimonial selling, by the way, when I showed you this. I'm building credibility by other people saying how supposedly great I am. And hopefully Eric Lofholm said some nice things over the years too. But this is the 12 module course. It's just a webinar, copies of a webinar. I'm speaking the slides. I cut all the fluff out. It is nonstop talking for 20 minutes to an hour in each one. I think it totals, like I said, 6 to 8 hours, something like that. Then you click one of these 2 buttons if you want to get it. Now I want to explain what's involved because there's much more than what you see here. It's $7.95 if you just want to get it, or you can do payments, 3 payments at $279. You'll see over here the course not only includes those 12 modules, but 2 hours of one-on-one coaching. Now, when I tell you one-on-one coaching, I mean me and you sitting on Zoom. But when I coach, I'm face-to-face on Zoom with just you. I owe you 2 hours. If you want 8 15 minutes, if you want 4 30 minutes, if you want 2 1 hours, I'm not going to do 1 2 hour because it's too much. But I'll break it up. You want to do, I don't know, what is that, 12 10 minute? I owe you 2 hours of one-on-one with me. It's onereferralaway.com. Click on that one, and that's what I'm offering you. Let's talk about the difference between sales, marketing, and networking, because this is understanding the difference between sales and marketing and networking is just as important as understanding the difference between a lead and a referral. And that explanation I gave was just an explanation. To go deep on that takes a lot of time. So let's dig in here. Selling it's a transaction between the seller and the prospective buyer. A buyer selling is the art of persuading the consumer that buying the product or service will benefit him or her, whether they like it or not, or know it or not. Selling is a process by which one person guides other people's behavior along a path in the desired direction, culminating in the purchase of a product or service. If you're in real estate, selling is when they sign on the dotted line. What did you need to do to get them to sign on the dotted line? Whatever you're in, get them to sign up for your products, your network marketing company, whatever it is. That's selling. Marketing is an organizational function and a set of processes for creating, communicating, delivering value to consumers. That would be anything that's in websites, anything on if you're pulling up the website, it's marketing. If you're pulling up a website, it's marketing. Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever you use. I don't use TikTok, and not even really a big fan of Instagram. I like Facebook and YouTube. I don't really like LinkedIn either. It's just not my bag. There's so much spamming that goes on. But I've made close to $1 million or $2 million from Facebook. When you go to a networking event and you hand someone your card, that moment in time, you're marketing. You're handing out a card. You're talking about yourself. You're marketing. That is not networking. Going to a networking event and handing out your cards is not networking. It's marketing. So there's some people say, one of you put a comment in, Rick, I market all the time. I network all the time. I never get any referrals. I'm gonna say if I followed you for a month that you 5% of the time network and 95% of the time you're marketing. It's because you didn't know the difference. So I'm going to do everything I can to help you figure out that difference. It's it's anything in writing, video, all that stuff is marketing. Now, networking is through a system. It's through the law of reciprocity, a system which you help other people reach their personal and professional goals, knowing that in return you'll be helped in reaching yours. Maureen's here, so we're using Maureen. Maureen, you're meeting with a client, and whether you do this exact thing or not, I apologize because I don't know exactly what you do, but you're meeting with a client and they get a big bonus check. Or with a big bonus check, a professional networker would say, that's awesome. Do you need a financial planner, a banker? If you don't do CPA work, do you need a CPA? Do you need a estate planning attorney? Maureen, we're getting married, and I need to figure out how to do everything once I marry my wife, how we're going to do our stuff. Awesome, you're getting married. Do you need a wedding planner? Do you need a photographer? Do you need a travel agent? Do you need a limo driver? Maureen, if you had a client, let's say a family member died and they inherited money or whatever, and that person goes, man, just dealing with this is a pain in the butt. Maureen, if you stopped the conversation and said, I know it's a pain in the butt, do you need an estate planning attorney to ease your family's life if something happens to you, for instance? Or they're saying, my mom doesn't have an estate plan. Do you need an estate planning attorney? Now, Maureen, referring an estate planning attorney to that person is going to get you no business, none, but it is. Because now you pleased your client. So, via the law of reciprocity, when you please other people, it comes back. May not come back from that client. It may come back from somebody else, but you earned the law of attraction, the law of reciprocity client credits because you referred an estate planning attorney to one of your clients. You found the estate planning attorney business. Did that pay you? No. You served your client, reduced their stress, made them happy. So when you teach them what you do and you fire their reticular activating system, that client goes and tells the brother and sister about it. And then the guy's brother and sister gets your bookkeeping services because they own businesses. So when you help your clients and it has nothing to do with you, then you're a networker. If what you're doing is for you to get business, if what you're doing is to hopefully get referrals from that person, you're breaking the law of reciprocity, and then I cannot help you build a referral-based practice. Hopefully that example helped. Bob Ritchie. So Bob, I'm going to answer it this way, and you're not going to really like the answer, but Bob, how long does it take before your car needs an oil change? If you drive it a lot, then 5,000 miles might go by in 2 months. If your car's sitting in the garage, that 5,000 miles is going to take years. How much do you want to drive the car? How much do you want to network? How many coffee meetings do you want to have? How good your elevator pitch, your avatar, your power partner list? The better the list, the more coffee meetings you have, the shorter the time frame. I can't answer it for you, but I can tell if you do everything right, you should be getting referrals in the first 4 to 6 weeks if you do it right. I'll help you best I can. If you get the course, you're going to get me for 6 hours, so I can kind of help you build that stuff out. What networking is not is calling someone on the phone and saying, hi, can I help you buy or sell your home in the next 60 to 90 days? Okay, well, if you do, think about it in the future. I want to be your go-to guy. What can I do to earn your business? That's desperate. It's looking for business. People don't want to do business with people that are desperate. That's the other reason you should not cold call. Because if you have the time to cold call, it means you don't have a lot of business. If you don't have a lot of business, then people translate into the guy's not successful and I want to work with successful people. Cold calling, especially in real estate, real estate per hour is the most highly paid business on the planet. I have no idea why people who make more than doctors, attorneys, and surgeons, when those guys don't door knock, why are real estate people told to door knock? I'll never understand that, or cold call. It makes you look desperate. It demeans the industry. If you're door knocking and it's pouring rain outside or it's 3 feet of snow, if it's 125 degrees outside, you're out of business. Also, when you're buying all the software and you got to get yourself all fired up, I used to smile and dial. I have a mirror. I look in the mirror like this, and I'd smile in the mirror, and then I dial because they say smile and dial. I get all fired up, and you get all stressed out, and people are hanging up on the phone. You want to deal with all that? Whew, good luck. But Rick, I like the cold call. Good. Then you're going to be cold calling until you're 90. I hope you never plan on retiring. You have to sell yourself too much. You got to build a lot of trust and rapport. And the average person spends 15 to 35 hours a week looking for business. On the referral side, am I going to, okay, Jenny asked a really good question. Let's stop here and answer that. If I don't have success yet in my business, how can I write my epiphany script? Jenny, you have a personal story. I can't keep strolling up to see what you do, but Jenny, you used to do something before. Maybe you had a rough upbringing. Things weren't really good in your life. Then you had a downturn, and then you found something. The epiphany script is just an up and down an up and down story of your life to get people to relate to you. I can help you more if I sat down for 10 minutes separately. I can probably pull an epiphany story out of you. You don't have to have current success in your business. Having said that, if it's like a wellness product, your success is how it worked for you, how it made you feel. I guarantee I can pull a success out. When you have a referral-based practice, I'm going to tell you this, it's slower than working with leads in the beginning. But at the end, oh my God, there's nothing can touch it. You can be picky who you work with. People are calling you, you're not calling them. You teach people how to send you business. You don't have stress on the phone. When you're cold calling, you have stress. When people are calling you on the phone, there's not a lot of stress. You don't got to buy leads, and you're saving, 10, 15, 20 hours a week. And you can use that to spend more time with your clients. I'm going to be asking you, if you're going to do this, you got to have coffee meetings, and I'll go more into that shortly. Here's the thing. I think you should cold call. What? You just told me not to cold call. I think you should cold call. Number one, it helps you get business quickly if you need it. If you don't need it, don't do it. It also builds a Teflon skin to help you with rejection, so it knocks your fear down. So that's the only reason you should cold call. Over the long term, building a referral-based practice, it's not even a question. So let me run this by you. Let me give you an example here to prove my point. And if this doesn't prove my point, then just stop listening to me. So you buy 100 leads on. I'm trying to look at my hand. It's reversed. You buy 100 leads, or you knock on 100 doors. And I call. If I'm a real estate agent, I go knock on 100 doors. I'm walking up and down the street. Knock, knock, knock. You open the door. Hi, I'm a real estate agent. Bang. And once in a while, you get to say, hey, I'm Rick Silva. I'm a local real estate agent. Check to see if you or anyone you know might be interested in buying or selling in the next 60 to 90 days. Now, that's the standard script. That is not the script I would use. That's I'll give you that later. The script you should use. That's the script you should not use. But that's the script you were taught. Knock on doors, say, I'm a local real estate, check to see if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell a home in the next 60 to 90 days, and you knock on 100 doors. That's this person. Now, I'm a networker. You will never, ever, ever catch me doing that. I will, if I'm a real estate agent, I will knock on 100 doors. Yes, I will. Of estate planning attorneys, CPAs, financial planners, mortgage lenders, roofers, handymen, carpet cleaners, and I'm going to teach them how to send me referrals. So you knock on 100 doors, I'm going to have 100 Power Partner coffee meetings. So when you're knocking on your 100 doors, you might make a couple more sales than me up front. But when you make those 100 sales and you sell a home, you got to go knock on doors again. When I have 100 coffee meetings with Power Partners, I teach them how to send me referrals. I'm not knocking on doors. That's the big thing. So I'm going to take a samurai sword. I'm going to cut you in half. The left-hand side is most of you what you think of SOI. In fact, I'm going to jump ahead and show you this slide. Purse of influence, center of influence, circle of influence, sphere of influence. Now, there's only two, maybe three. Okay, center of influence is somebody that knows a lot of people that can refer business to you. Circle of influence and sphere of influence is taught primarily in network marketing and by whoever else taught you these terms. So circle of influence and center of influence is one of you put it in the questions, your church group, your kids in a swim club, just social gatherings you're going to. And the reason why I say you should never talk to your sphere or your circle. You should never talk to your sphere or circle. Remember I told you I was going to tell you some things that knock you on your head? Because when you go to your church group and tell everybody what you do, they don't want to see you anymore. You're going to lose a lot of friends. They see you coming, they're going to duck. Don't sell to your sphere. Have success by talking to Power Partners and COI centers of influence to get referrals. And in all your sphere and your circle of influence, your people that are close to you, they'll start chasing you. But you don't need to chase people because it makes you look desperate and people don't want you around. And we're going to get into that. So in the networking world, it's called power partnering. A power partner is someone who sells to, serves, consults the exact same person you do. They just don't sell what you sell. So I don't care what industry you're in. I could name 5 to 10 without even taking a breath. You have to come up with a list, a long list of people who already have your client. If you're a chiropractor, a massage therapist, an acupuncturist, a personal fitness trainer, a weight loss consultant is a power partner. Nutritionist, if you're a CPA, a banker, a financial planner, multitudes of different types of attorneys are your power partners. They already have your client. Just teach them how to send them to you. Merchant services, banker, same thing. Carport dude, never met anybody that does carports, but developers, builders, architects, you guys are getting the point. A power partner has your client. Find them, teach them how to send you business, and then you stop cold calling and stop talking to your friends, family members, and your church group because they're getting annoyed. This is the information I provide when giving a referral, and this is what I expect when I get one. Remember I was telling you earlier, when you get a referral, you got to get the profile filled out. This is a master class here. I don't have the time to do the whole thing, but this is a master class of what you do with this. So if I'm a real estate agent, the mortgage lender sends me someone, I get this filled out. I get their name, their company name. I want to know what they do. Do they have kids? Are they married? Their contact information. Do they have a website? Where do they live? What city are they in? As much as I can. This is a short list that turns that mortgage lender who's talking to a client saying, hey, you got to call Michael Tesoro to buy a home. That person sends that name to me. I want this filled out. I want it to be a real referral, not just some lead I'm randomly calling. And there's multitudes of reasons why I need this, because I'm going to do a bunch of research and find out stuff about them before I make contact. Where do I find power partners? From your clients, and you very specifically teach them how to do it. And it's not asking them for referrals. It's teaching them how to listen for certain things. Referral groups and networking events, chamber website. That's a whole nother thing I could teach you guys on the group. Coaching if you want, how to use that and how to use Google. That just this page is so many hours to teach this. It's crazy. So getting back to, I don't care what industry you're in, you need to be able to name multitudes of industries. Well, how many can you name right now? And how many of those industries have you met with consistently for coffee or Zoom meetings? And then how many coffee meetings or Zoom meetings per day, per week, per month are you having? So I did way over 6,000, maybe 6,500 in the last 19 years. And I kind of cut way back 3 or 4 years ago. So I probably did 6,000 in 15 years. And now I still do a couple a week. My wife's done about 4,500. It takes time, but you're getting business right away. You don't have to do the whole 4,500 before you get business. So how many can you name? I can equate your income to how many you can name. So if you can only name a couple referral partners, it's just pure mathematics that you're not having a lot of referrals and probably not a lot of financial success yet in your business. My wife can name 163 different industries for finding people to invest in land. So I don't want to hear that you can only come up with 3 or 4. My wife has 163 different industries. This is what it looks like to become a professional networker. You got networks all over the place, and you start introducing your network to your network. This slide's an hour that I could spend on teaching you how to get people to fall in love with you because you're introducing your network to your network. You got to have 5 coffee meetings minimum a month. You got to become a semi-professional coffee meeting haver or become a professional cold caller or a lead chaser. I'm giving you the opportunity to have coffee meetings, whether that's face-to-face or on Zoom. My goal is to get you over here from calling people or asking for business to over here where business is coming to you. There's a lot of stress. This is the last slide. We're going to bang out your questions. People have a ton of success. Oh my God, I'm doing so great. As the line goes up, people tend to go, I don't need to network. I got all this business. Well, ultimately that business is going to go away. If you're a real estate agent and you had 6 deals going, you're going to close them. Some are going to fall off. And all of a sudden you're going to have 0 business. You're going to be right here. And then you didn't network. The networking activities went down. You cut down your networking because you were so busy. And now right here you go, crap, I got no pipeline. Crap, I have no business. And as your business is taking a dump, you turn the networking on. You want to try to never turn the networking off. And then all the people you're selling to, you want to teach them how to send you referrals, not ask for leads. Teach them how to send you referrals. Now, these are the types of comments I got from you guys. I don't have the time or finding the time. I'm not consistent. I don't have the time. Fear, rejection, or laziness. Need to do more activities. Making the time to do everything. Keeping up with it all. Consistency and timely follow-up, managing my time with my current clients and trying to find time to network. I like this one a lot. Managing my time with my current clients and trying to find time to network. Now, if you love every single client you have and you're so busy with them that you cannot find time to network, then I want to congratulate you because you're making $1 million a year and you don't need me anyway. If that's not the case, then there's a couple things. Number one, you might need to hire a part-time assistant. You might need to delegate some things, or you might need to start firing some of your clients. Remember, 80% of your money is earned by 20% of your clients. 80% of your time is wasted by the bottom 20%. If you fire the bottom 20%, now it gives you time to network, to find more higher paying clients. So we're always trying to replace the bottom 20%, always trying to fire people. You should never be fired. You should be doing the firing. I have no time. It's just me. Then you're making $1 million a year. So cool. If you're not, hire an assistant, ferret some of your business out, or fire some people. So any of these that say I don't have the time, are you chasing leads when you should be looking for referrals? Are you you have so many business cards laid out all over and you got leads coming in. You don't even know how to balance all your time. It's because you have leads coming in and you got to do all this follow-up, and then people don't get back to you, and you get stood up and you set up this presentation, ask for a discount. They don't buy it. You wasted all that time and they didn't even buy. If you can start getting all the lead generating crap out of your life and have referrals coming in, I guarantee you to have the time. So you got to start carving. You got to make time. If you eat lunch every day, you could have a Zoom meeting. You could eat lunch really fast and take that other half an hour and have a Zoom meeting with somebody. You have the time. So I don't want to hear this no time stuff. You have the time. You could find the time. If I sat down with you and you showed me your calendar, everything you do, I guarantee I'd find the time. Now, if you love being rejected, you love calling on leads, and you like getting stood up, people asking for discounts on, and you like it being really hard to close the deal, you don't need me. But I'm telling you, have the time. I can help you find it. I'm new to networking. I don't know how to track or do it. I don't know how to get started. I'm new to my business. Not quite sure where to start. Hopefully you have a good idea as of today how to start. Epiphany, avatar, knowing the laws, and elevator pitch. I don't know anybody. One came in today. I'm new to an area. I don't know anybody. You don't need to know anybody. I can make you the best known person in a year. I don't know anything. I'm new at this. A lot of people just put, I don't know. And I got like 30 I don't knows. I network every week, but don't get business or referrals. I guarantee whoever sent me that is not networking ever. It's impossible. They are marketing every week, but they don't get any referrals. They are not networking. I don't know anyone. That's easy fix. Question came in. What tip do you have for promoting a course and or workshop to get attendees? Holy Katie, that's outside the scope of this presentation. I'd have to have a one-on-one with you for that, and I could recommend a couple books and then affiliate, all that kind, mostly affiliate. I got a couple books that can help you with that. That's a really long answer. That's outside the scope of this presentation, but I could help you with that. This is the one I covered so much that I don't want to keep covering it, but I just want to share. I'm awkward. I don't know how to ask. Asking people for names when they aren't my client. Don't ask for anybody's name. Don't ask for anything. Asking clients for referral at the right time so they don't wander off. You should have never asked them because it's offensive. People don't want to talk to you. Remember I said also don't go to your sphere. Don't go to your church group, your kids' soccer group, your bingo club, because they don't want to talk to you. You're offending people. They don't like it. I can teach you how to do it, they'll fall in love with you. I'm good at listening, open to, but never reciprocated. If I sat down, whoever wrote this, I'm good at listening to what the other person needs and open to help, but never reciprocated. I could fix that pretty easily. It's with scripting, and I'd like to know how you're actually helping them. How to ask for referrals, That's all in the course, and that's all in the coaching. You're not asking, by the way. It's in the course that you're not asking. I'm going to teach you how to educate people so they know what to look for and listen for. Can't seem to find the right way to motivate clients to send referrals. Epiphany gets them to fall in love with you. And then your elevator pitch starts to educate them. Getting folks to give referrals on the spot, never, ever, 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 ever is that going to happen, because you're looking for leads. You will never get a referral on the spot. You might get leads on the spot, but if you're not educating properly, you're not gonna get referrals. I'm not comfortable in networking groups. I've facilitated 1,200 of them, been running them for 19 years. I can get you comfortable in them. People are not comfortable in the networking environment because they're going there and they feel uncomfortable selling to everyone they meet, and that's good. You should feel uncomfortable selling to everyone you meet, because you should be selling to no one you meet. You should be getting them to chase you. Getting people to follow through and have them give me that first deal absolutely breaks, shatters, destroys the law of reciprocity. You don't even, if you think this way, you don't even deserve it, and I'll explain. You got to follow the law of reciprocity. You got to serve them at the highest level, and then you'll get it. You just don't contact somebody and expect to get business. Having people send me referrals after I ask, how do we remind them without sounding pushy? This sentence is pushy. Don't do it. If you want to be a networker, don't do these things. You're going to teach them over time how to send you referrals. You're not going to ask. So I want people falling in love with me, not running from me when they see me coming. You're a salesy person at a Chamber of Commerce networking event about 4 months in. You ever drop a pebble in the water and you see the rings expand? As you walk in the room and you see people disappearing, that's people running from you because they don't want to be around you. Elevator pitch, getting people to understand the power of 7 U.S. patents in 1 micronutrient vitamin. And there was another one that said, getting people to understand they need my services even when they don't think they need it. And then that second one, how to quickly show the value of working with a professional and teaching some people something that doesn't exist. Never do it. Find power partners. Like, again, if you're working in the microvitamin nutrient and the people don't know they need this vitamin, I wouldn't be telling anybody that. I'd be finding chiropractors, personal fitness trainers, acupuncturists, hairstylists, people that do brows, nails, toenails, waxing, massage, and I would teach them how to send me referrals. That's a networker. Trying to find people and teaching them that they need something they don't know about, that's an uphill battle. That's what I'm talking about for the last hour and 40 minutes. Don't do it. It's too stressful. The reason why people don't have time to network is because they're doing this battle of trying to sell. Stop trying to sell to people. Find power partners and teach them how to find you business. My immediate circle is very small. I don't have a lot of business networks I can connect with. You get the course, and you will have a humongous network when I get done with you. But go to Chambers of Commerce if you need to. Meeting new referral sources, finding mutual reciprocation, getting to the right person with necessary connections, targeting my markets. That goes to multiple avatars. You got to have multiple avatars, and then you start asking your questions as you're reading your own avatar, and it'll help you figure out the industries you need to contact, and you need to find them. You need to contact them. You need to have a perfectly scripted email to get them to meet with you. And then you meet with them, and what are you going to say when you meet them for coffee? That's what I'm here to help you build. 95% of my business is referral based from SOI, past clients on other agents. I'm just looking to grow it more. Hopefully this is helping you. Where do I meet referral partners? Chambers of Commerce, Google, Facebook, groups, a million different ways. You got to have an elevator pitch. You got to have an epiphany story. You got to have an avatar. You got to have an email that gets them to respond to you. You got to have a presentation when you meet them. That's what I'm trying to help you guys build. But I needed to tell you all of this before I can't even teach you that. Getting referrals, I need warm referrals. There's no such thing as a referral or it's a lead. Qualified leads are leads. It's either a referral or a lead. Converting a prospect into a lead, I didn't know what that meant, because if they're a prospect, they're a lead. If you want to convert a prospect to a client, that's a whole different thing. Getting others to make introductions, that's power partnering. Knowing where to get the referrals, that's building your network. Lack of quality networking events, I 100% agree. I went from going to 8 a month to 1 a month to not doing too many because I didn't need to anymore. When COVID hit, I got hammered. But then there's groups you can find that are virtual, and then identifying the best networks. We got to find out who your power partners are, who your perfect client is, and then we identify from there. Now we're going to change this look of the screen again, because networking is not going to an event and walking up to people and handing them your business card and throwing up on them. That is marketing. That is not networking. These are the types of things that I hope to help you with. Crafting your avatar. You got to have a proper elevator pitch. You got to teach past clients how to send you referrals by listening for certain things. Networking groups, follow the 6 laws, networking scripts, turning cold calls into warm calls, power partner network, how you're going to do coffee meetings, how you're going to build win-win strategies with power partners. This is all the stuff that I'd like to help you with. A couple testimonials here. Fred is a financial planner. To say that Rick is the preeminent guru of networking is an understatement. I've been working with Rick for about a year and was feeling anxious to better my networking skills. I did one-on-one training with Rick, and he completely changed the way I think about networking. His advice has enabled me to focus and revamp how I network. Thank you, Fred. That's Andy McLaren. Now, Andy, MBA from Cornell and a bachelor's degree. His IQ is way higher than mine, but they don't teach you how to network in college. So I was proud to help Andy. I've been working with Rick about a year now, how to go about networking. He totally overhauled the way I do my elevator pitch and taught me how to be more effective. In the business community, directly from the coaching I got from Rick, I now have over 6,000 monthly recurring business. that testimonial is like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old. I know about a year or two after he wrote this, just from what he learned from me, was up to about 15,000 a month. So guys and gals, boys and girls, it took me 15, 16, 17 years to really get to where we are now, but to be very proficient, 7 to 10. I'm trying to help you with a shortcut, but you got to go to onereferralaway.com. And again, as Eric says when he's on, an irresistible offer. It's the best I can do. Go to onereferralaway.com, click this logo here. And then when you scroll down, that's all the stuff that's included, like 6 or 7 hours of me talking to you on recorded webinars. You can either buy it outright or do monthly payments. Hey, ready? I'm going to go. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope I helped. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.